What's going on, guys? Ep.44 back with you again for another Flight Simulator X Nostalgia Edition mission. I'm going to be taking a look today at the San Juan Island Run mission from Microsoft Flight Simulator X. This is Steam Edition. This is completely vanilla, so no add-on scenery, nothing. So exactly how you'd buy it from the store. Exactly how I would have experienced it like 15 years ago. So let's go ahead and let's go to briefing. So we're going to be landing at, I guess, Friday Harbor in the de Havilland Beaver with straight floats. Let's hit the fly button. Let's get going. Ooh, listen to that nice lawnmower noise in the background. What is that? It is a de Havilland Beaver taking off. Got a nice little dock wigging out here in the bottom corner. Dock placed inside of a dock. Alright, let's get inside. Let's get the Beaver fired up. Let's get our water rudders down. I did the key command, but the loop ring first right here. And I completely forgot that you cannot click the yoke to hide it, so let's just pull that back. So, mags are on. Let's get the fuel selector to the rear tank, because you always burn off the rear tank first in the Beaver. And everything else looks to be set. So let's get mixture full forward, let's get the throttle cracked, and let's hit the starter. Oh yeah. Make sure our altimeter and headings are set up. So that Beaver just departed straight out from the dock here. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to go to the right here. We're going to pull our power back though, because we're starting to speed along. And we're going to take off down the length of the lake, so we know we got plenty of runway, even though I know the Beaver's not going to take anything to get off. Playing chicken with a boat right now. I guess I'll turn to the left since he's turning to the left. Alright, let's see what we got here. We got landing lights, get those on, pulse lights on. Not sure if there's a beacon in this Beaver or not, but yeah, who needs a beacon? And flap set for takeoff. I'm going to start a gentle turn to the left here. Plenty of runway, nothing in the way that I can see. So, let's get the water rudders up. And let's hit the throttle. Looks like we're going to Lake Union first. Ooh, a little bit of a skip on the water there, but not a bad takeoff. Get our prop pulled back. What are we doing for our manifold pressure? Pull that back to 30. 30 is climb power in the Beaver, if I remember right. Prop is actually a little bit low, so let's go up a notch on the prop. Just try to make right at 2,000 RPM at least. And we're going to make our turn towards Lake Union. God, look at all that default scenery. After using Orbix and all that for so long, I almost forgot what the default scenery looked like.
66 Zulu, Kenmore Base. There's a guy at Lake Union who just booked a charter to Lake Cushman on the peninsula. I know you were scheduled for a Friday harbor flight, but if you're looking for a challenge, this might be more interesting. Shorter, too. If you want to do it, let me know.
Oh man, which one should we do? Let's take the charter.
Roger, the guy's waiting for you on the dock at Lake Union. I'll explain how to get to Lake Cushman once you're at the dock and have something to write with. 598, as you probably just heard, you've now got the Friday harbor run.
Got it. 598.
So I guess this is the part where I break the news that this is the third time I've recorded this. So, yeah. First time I didn't have any audio, so I had to completely redo it. Second time, I chose to continue on the Friday Harbor, which still makes you land at Lake Cushman here, because you're supposed to pick up some cargo, or Lake Union, I mean. Because you're still supposed to pick up some cargo or something. And it had the guy sitting out on the dock still. There was no dock, and I couldn't get it to trigger anything. And the with the turn radius of the beaver on the water, I was a little too close, and I ended up hitting into, I guess, the invisible dock because I couldn't go forward, and there was also no slew mode enabled, so I couldn't back up or do anything. So I had to end the mission there. So this time, we're going to pick up the VIP, since it seems like there was no cargo to pick up either way, so I hope this mission's not broke. We're going to find out here in a minute when I land. But But hey, what's that saying? If it's good enough to do once, it's good enough to do 3 times. And then a 4th time. And then a 5th time. 6, 7, 8. Then eventually you either get it or you just get bored enough to stop trying. Which one is this going to be? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. And we are way high once again. I hate that I had to do a reshoot on this too, because there's actually some like naturally funny moments in the last one. Like on approach here, we'll try to fly the same-ish approach. I didn't hit the top of a building, like visually, because I looked outside. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'll insert that clip right here. Report right? Did we just skid across the top of something? No, there's nothing there. There must be like a collision box like high off that building. That was interesting. We must have just hit that just right. I'm surprised that did not crash me. Yeah, so as you can see, I didn't actually hit a building, but I did hit a hitbox or something, because my skid or my floats like perfectly skidded across the top of it. So we're coming over the area right now. We're going to see what happens here. It didn't happen that time, but I did get the Lake Union pop-up box again. So yeah, I absolutely hate that. I absolutely hate having to throw away takes like that, but especially when something completely random happens. Oh, come on. Touch the water. There you go. But you know what it is, Alright, let's get this freaking box off the...
66 Zulu, roger.
Get the box off the screen. Get the water rudders down so we actually have some maneuverability on the water. Yeah, we're going to creep on up here. We'll see if the dock has spawned in this time. It looks like it has. I'd be interested. I think, I'm not going to do it on camera, but I may refly this here at some point. And refly it with, or refly it doing the other mission, continuing on to Friday Harbor. And we'll just see if it actually works that time around. But it looks like for now I have absolutely no choice but to take the Lake Union run. So let's get way on out here. Make sure we have plenty of freaking turning radius. Keep the speed up a little bit. And we're actually going to go to, as we skid around, we're actually going to go to outside view here. Hit Shift M. Let's try to turn even wider here. We're going to go way back in here. And I know this is cheating a little bit, but it's kind of a pain in the ass, so... a little bit shy. Oh, it looks like it's still going to do it, though. Awesome. That works out.
Hey there, got a pen? Lake Cushman is about 40 miles southwest of here. Take off and follow the ship canal west toward Puget Sound. Just keep flying west over the water and islands until you come to the Olympic Mountains. When you get close to the mountains, you'll see Hood Canal running from north to south at the base of the hills. Follow it south for about 25 miles. When the canal eventually curves east, look to the west and you'll see Lake Cushman nestled in the foothills. Turn west and fly there. The place the guy's going to is a house at the far west end of the lake. There's a small dock where you can drop him off. Got it? West of the canal at the base of the mountains, then south along the canal, then west when the canal goes east. Have fun, and don't get lost.
Thanks. Kenmore Base out.
Okay, now that I have my pad and paper, can you repeat that whole thing, please? Oh, that's okay. I'm sure you'll show me with the compass in the top left corner. I hope. Because I didn't catch any of that. Alright. Throttle forward. Mixture forward. Battery on. Lights are still on. Mags are still on. Still in the rear tank. And away we go. Okay, so interesting. Let's get moving here before we start flapping. I like how that beaver is just sitting there in the way. Let's get out away from the dock here. So interestingly, that was a... So the last time I flew this mission, when I did the... decided to continue on to Friday Harbor, there were 2 people standing on the dock to pick up. And yeah. This time there's only 1 with some cargo, which is kind of confusing. So I guess my cargo last time was 2 passengers? But there still wasn't a dock last time. They were just standing out in the middle of nowhere. So I'll be very interested to fly that again and just see what happens. Oh yeah, I got a nice little lift off on that one. Make our turn out to the west here. Kind of follow this canal out. Let's get our climb flaps in and get our trim set for a nice climb here. get on heading here, and let's take a look. Let's see what we're doing. We'll bring our throttle back to 30 inches of manifold pressure, and we're going to get our prop back to about 2,000 RPM, which is about, looks like about 80%. We're not very high, so we'll just leave our mixture full forward for now. We are 25 nautical miles out.
Zulu, roger. Have a good flight.
We'll just keep her nice and steady on heading here. And by on heading, I mean varying 5 to 10 degrees for the next 20 minutes. Alright, let's go ahead and get our flaps up so we can start picking up some airspeed here. I think we'll climb up to about, let's see, what direction? We're going west. So it'd be even plus, is it still even plus 500 when you're, I can't remember if that flips when you go across the US like that or not. So we're in Washington. I know here in Florida, east is odd plus 500, west is even plus 500. Is that still the same case? I feel like that's something I should know, but we're gonna say that's still the case. But something, I for some reason I just have this feeling that I remember reading that it changes. But for the time being, we're just going to say even plus 500. So we're going to go to 2,500 feet. And we'll level off there and try to maintain that the best we can. And I would click off screen and look that up, but the second I click off the screen, the audio stops playing. And I think the screen also goes black. So, yeah, we're not going to do that right now. Actually, I could use my phone to look it up. Let's do that. We'll text and fly for a little bit here. How would I even phrase that?
Kenmore Base, 598 is landing Lake Union.
598, roger.
Alright, should probably start to level off here.
Kenmore Base 355 off Rosario for Friday Harbor. 355, roger.
Get the trim figured out here. Probably gonna take me a moment. Actually, kind of a little bit disappointed. I kind of wanted to do the Friday Harbor run because the very first time I played this mission, I did this VIP pickup, and I've never done the Friday Harbor. So it's a little bit disappointing redoing the VIP one here, since like I kind of already know what's in store. But we'll just enjoy the flight, and it makes it a little bit shorter of a flight too, so you're not stuck here watching an hour-long video. And I'm not sitting here later editing an hour-long video and watching through it myself like 3 or 4 times because, well, just gotta make sure you get it right, right? And we are not doing very good on our altitude. I thought I had it trimmed out. Apparently not, because we're still climbing. So let's try to get back down to 2,500 feet. Let's keep her nice and low today. We're not going too far, so... Maybe. Come on now, descend. We gotta remember to keep an eye on our fuel levels too. So we still got plenty of fuel. I do believe the rear tank is the smallest tank though, so we'll probably have to end up switching tanks somewhere along this trip here. I'm not exactly sure how long this trip's gonna last either, because I think Hood Canal is just our first waypoint if I remember right. Alright, almost back down to 25. Still on course. Right, there's 25. So let's work on getting this thing trimmed out again. Let's see if we can get it trimmed out to fly right along at 25-ish. Have to kind of wait for our speed to come down, even out. Because it's going to want to continue sinking down. We kind of just got to hold it where we want it at, I guess.
Kenmore Base, 81 Lima is off Victoria for Lake Union.
81 Lima, roger.
Okay, let's see. What is it? 91, 159? I think this is the right CFR. 14 CFR 91, 159. VFR cruising altitude or flight level. Ah, that's right. So, below 3,000 feet, it doesn't matter. So, we are below 3,000 feet, but over 3,000 feet, let's see what it says here. Sorry, I'm reading. So magnetic course of 0 degrees through 179 would be any odd 1,000 feet altitude MSL plus 500, such as 35, 55, 75. So that would be east. And on a magnetic course of 180 degrees through 359 degrees, so that would be west, would be even 1,000 foot plus 500 feet. So 4,500, 6,500, or 8,500. So right now we are below 3,000 feet, so that doesn't matter. And yeah, it doesn't say anything about that changing across the U.S. I thought there was something. Maybe I'm thinking of something different. But there's something for, because of like high altitude or something, it changes. Something changes with altitude as you go like west across the U.S. I don't remember what I read that on or where I read that at. I thought it was on a CFR, but I don't know. I don't religiously read the Bible every day, so I don't know every freaking CFR out there like some people do. Yeah, we're not doing very good at holding our altitude. Too much distraction. I guess I could always be non-interesting and put on the autopilot, but you know what? What would be the fun in that, right? We're gonna hand fly this thing all the way. Alright, we gotta work on trim. I thought I had, once again, I thought I had the trim set where I wanted it, but then over time it just creeps down. See how we're doing our manifold. Still right around 30 inches, just a little over it looks like. Still maintaining 2,000 RPM. So we can go outside and take a look around. Now I pulled those water rudders up. Why are they down? I guess maybe the key didn't register, huh? I do have a wireless keyboard, which does have a knack for sometimes disconnecting, which is highly disappointing considering it's a kind of expensive Logitech wireless keyboard. Yeah. Figures, right? Logitech. Alright, now we are above the altitude we want to be at.
Kenmore Base, 0 Kilo Alpha is off the IMO for Kenmore with 4 passengers and a whole lot of salmon. We'll need 3 fish boxes.
0 Kilo Alpha, roger. Give us an update when you're closer. Copy 3 fish boxes.
You know, one bucket list item I do have is I would love to fly a Beaver in real life. It's just such an iconic airplane. It's got a radial engine. Who can deny the beauty of a radial engine? Oh, we got some birds ahead. I guess we should probably make a slight turn to the left here. I don't remember if it said that we're going east or west here or what, but, or, well, I guess it'd be north or south. I know we're supposed to turn, I think, at this point. But I want to stay clear of those birds, and there's probably a thermal there as well, which means we're probably going to fly into a little bit of turbulence here. And there's the turbulence. Alright. Lake Cushman. Oh, okay, so we're not very far off heading here. So 14.5 nautical miles. So we're just going to creep around, I guess, the left-hand side of that range there, go in the valley. You know, for being default, this isn't very bad scenery. It's actually aged pretty well. Sure, it's no MSFS 2020, right? No photoreal ground textures everywhere, but... or almost everywhere. But the terrain, you cannot say looks that bad. You know, something you don't often think about, or something I don't often think about when flying a float plane, is just how sketchy this part of the flight is. I mean, we're on straight floats with no wheels, flying over trees. Now we could glide to the water over there, no problem, but imagine just flying over just standard terrain, no water below you, and floats. Knowing that if you had an engine go out on you, you're 100% just going to be going down into the trees. You know, just a little food for thought there. But luckily it's a simulator and, you know, so what if we go down into the trees? As long as it doesn't simulate it in real life, we're good. Alright, so is this Lake Cushman here? I can't remember if... I think it's Lake Cushman we're landing at, right? Let's take a little look here. Drop off package at Lake Cushman. Yep. So we are landing on Lake Cushman. So I guess we should probably start getting configured for landing here. Get the old chair in the right position. And the feet back on the rudder pedals. And we'll get out a little bit wider here so we can kind of see the end of the lake before we start doing anything too drastic. We will start descent though, so let's pull the power back a little bit. Let's go ahead and get the prop all the way forward, I guess. Set up a trim. And it looks like... looks like the cabin may be tucked back into like a little bit of a cove or something. So what we'll do is we'll fly out here towards this far shoreline that we're pointing at now. And we'll kind of hook it along that shoreline. We'll try to land straight in, I guess. Other than landing right here on the lake and then taxiing all the way around. Because if I can't see where my destination is on the lake, I have absolutely no idea how far down the lake I have to taxi. Flying through another little thermal there. We are bouncing all about. I do think out of all the aircrafts and this simulator, I think modeling wise the Beaver's kinda right, but
Headed up to the San Juans. We just passed over a big pot of orcas off Cattle Point. Keep your eyes open as you approach the island. You should get a good view of them. Quite a sight.
oh man, we could be looking at orcas right now, but no, we're landing on some crummy backcountry lake. Oh well. Next time. We'll get it next time. But as I was saying, modeling wise the Beaver's kinda it could use some more polys, right? But sound wise it's not that bad. I think it's got some really good RPM ranges in here. So it's probably one of my favorite sound packs. Alright, we'll go ahead and report arrival at Lake Cushman so we get that off.
Roger. Looks like you found the lake.
Yep, sure did. Let's get our airspeed down so we can get our flaps out. We got plenty of runway, so I'm not too worried about it. So part of the reason why we're flying along this hillside here as well is it gives me an out. If we were flying right up the center, we'd have pretty much 50% of the area to turn around in, whereas if I fly along this hillside, I got 100% of the available area pretty much to turn around in. So it gives you a little bit of an out in case you need to go around or something like that. Alright, we're going to really crank the flaps down, and we're going to get down to idle throttle, which you would not really do in a radial because you don't want to shock cool it, but we need to get down, and we'll start adding some power in here. As we come down, we're going to take that one stage of flaps out and get landing flaps set. Work on our trim here. And we're just going to ease our way on down towards the water. Ugh. Gotta love that. That was just... that was pleasant on the ears. I guess that's how you tell when you do a smooth landing, when the frickin' audio just wigs out on you. So pretty much what that was is it was telling it to trigger the audio over and over because we were barely touching the surface of the water. So that's why it wigs out like that. So in other words, it was a good landing. Alright. Let's get over here towards this side of the lake a little bit. What would be cool is if on these missions they put some like shallow water objects, like some rocks or something. Alright, let's get our water rudder down before we hit the shoreline. Oh, come on! You can do it! No, it's gonna go past. I wonder if it's still gonna end the mission, though. Yeah! Good enough. Alright. So we picked up the cargo, we dropped it off at Lake Cushman, we got our Kenmore pilot wings. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna refly this one today, but sometime else I'm gonna refly this one. May not be on camera, may just do it myself, but I definitely want to try to do that run out to Friday Harbor. I don't know why I couldn't think of that for a second. Yeah, I definitely want to do that run out to Friday Harbor, just because I've never done that part of the mission before. And I'd like to experience that, and hopefully it doesn't break the second time around. But anyways, this this one was a lot of fun. Enjoyed flying a seaplane again. Had some good landings on that one. So hopefully Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 gets its stuff together with the water physics, and eventually we can actually fly some floats somewhat realistically on that sim, because that would be just great. I'd love to fly floats on that sim. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. If you did enjoy the video, leave a thumbs up on it. Lets me know that you did enjoy watching the video. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me your favorite mission for FSX, FS9, even MSFS if you want to. I think, yeah, MSFS missions, kind of. They get the bush trips. I don't remember if they actually have, like, missions. Admittedly, I haven't done a lot in MSFS except develop, so... yeah, I haven't really done missions in there. I'll check those out sometime, if there are any. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, RotorNet44, over and out.